Pick it good.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the ProDota Cup. I believe it's hosted by Azubu TV. We're over here on Facebook because that's what I like. This is Leviathan versus EverNova.
Radiant team ban.
To start off the game here, it looks like Leviathan has banned out a Lone Druid and an Oracle, and EverNova has banned out the Death Prophet Obsidian Destroyer. EverNova followed that up with an Enchantress Earth Spirit pickup. First time in this 5 games I've done tonight I've actually seen the Enchantress make it through. So we'll see if they look to run it as a support or if they run it in that off lane. Sounds like I have a Manic Corgi down here. If she doesn't go away in a second, I will go and lock her away.
Oh, dire team ban.
And Leviathan has picked up a Vengeful Spirit and an Invoker. So we didn't see... Let's see here. What did we see last game? We saw Leviathan play the Vengeful Spirit in the last game, and they had a lot of success with it. The Quap and the Zeus, they pick up a Gyrocopter for themselves, and EverNova throws out the... So I'm not surprised that they pick it up again. They do throw out the Beastmaster and the Ursa. So the last few games, Leviathan has drafted themselves a sort of push-heavy lineup, and it's worked pretty well for them. It doesn't look like that's exactly what they want to do this time, but they still have a few picks to go, and they could swing it more in that direction. Looks like they need an offlaner and another support right now. EverNova pretty much wide open with what they want to pick up. Dropping into the reserve time, not quite sure. They need at least a support. Maybe. They for sure need a mid, they for sure need a hard carry. So we'll look and see if they want to round out their carry lineup or if they want to give away the fact that support right now pretty much assures that this Enchantress will indeed be an off lane. So Leviathan will have to draft this Enchantress is going into the off lane by picking up another support. And so picking up another draft accordingly. They need a little bit more magical burst damage to deal with this Enchantress. A little bit hard to work through that untouchable if you are a Gyrocopter, but maybe they figured the Alacrity buff will be enough to work through it.
Faceless Void.
So they go ahead and pick up a Faceless Void, just go for a bunch of lockdown, buy themselves as much possible time to kind of burn through this Enchantress, maybe kill the rest of the team, and then kill the Enchantress. We'll see what EverNova wants to pick up in retaliation, let's say, to that Faceless Void that'll be the Leviathan offlaner.
Reserve time.
So they need to pick up a mid that can go up against this Invoker, and they'll need to pick up a carry that'll be able to deal with the late game Gyrocopter damage. So the Slark will be able to handle that damage with a nice Shadow Dance. He'll be able to heal right back up in the middle of the fight, and he'll be able to steal away a lot of the Gyrocopter damage. Gyrocopter doesn't burst you down, he kills you slowly, and that's exactly how the Slark likes to play.
Oh man, Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero. 5 seconds, Morty. It'll be fine. Reserve time.
So Leviathan bans out the Lena to round things up, and we'll see what EverNova wants to ban out. They should be looking at banning out another support.
Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero.
Man, just give me 1 second here to send out that ever so important tweet. So, EverNova throws out the Skywrath Mage. That's a perfect counter to the Enchantress. And that's exactly what they needed. A whole bunch of magical bursts to explode the Enchantress. We'll see what Leviathan thinks they can go with instead.
Oh, man. Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero.
They could go for the... You could go for the Lion if you want to rely on that finger. Well, that's a bit of a risky take.
Reserve time.
So they end up going for the Visage.
Come on, Radiant team, you gotta pick them right.
I don't know if the birds are affected by Untouchable or not. If anybody knows, you could let me know. All the other casters asked the chat, so I will too. He does have the Soul Assumption. That'll do plenty of damage to the Enchantress after the Gyro Flat Cannons down the entire rest of the team. So it's a worthy try to deal with this Enchantress. How well it works out, we'll find out.
There's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero.
5 seconds, Morty. It'll be fine. Well, what do you know? It's reserve time.
EverNova needs a mid to deal with his Invoker. They'll need a fairly tanky one here. The Earth Spirit Witch Doctor should be roaming plenty, so something that can benefit from some ganks, and pretty much any hero can benefit from a couple of ganks coming out of the enemy. We'll see exactly what they want to take in just a second here. They actually go for the Dusa. So, we'll have to see how exactly they want to lane that. Not sure. Maybe you send the Enchantress down the mid. Maybe you run a solo mid Witch Doctor or something. We'll see what EverNova has in store for us in just a second here.
Why aren't they doing anything? They're just standing around.
Relax, Morty. Oh boy, Morty, look who
So
came
we
back.
can see a
They're
smoke
left
up
as
on this Vengeful Spirit here. We'll see if she wants to pop that and head straight down to kind of deal with this EverNova team coming out here. Looks like they're just gonna run straight in. Haven't popped the smoke yet. Nobody's stopping to actually group up and take this smoke here. So we'll see exactly what they want to do. Finally get grouped up enough to pop the smoke. Gyrocopter taunting away. And it looks like EverNova is clustering right here. Won't be able to find anybody with the smoke unless they come in and wrap around through the jungle here. Which it might be their plan. They're actually going to head up top here. So this smoke will be largely worthless. They'll be able to get a couple deep jungle wards down. Maybe block a camp from spawning if they stick around long enough. But it doesn't look like anybody from EverNova is planning on rotating up towards the top anytime soon. So the smoke will dissipate. They'll drop a ward to block a camp here. And then they will head on out. They'll leave the Invoker up top by himself to take this ruin. They'll send the Faceless Void on the long trek down to the bottom to the off lane. Gyro and Venge, along with the Visage, will head up to the top here. So it looks like we have the Enchantress going down the mid. We have the Dusa rotating to the mid now as well. So maybe this Enchantress will head into the woods. This Earth Spirit will take the off lane to himself, and the Slark and the Witch Doctor will actually take up the bottom here. Now we see the Visage just kind of waiting to see who exactly shows up. They may be a little confused as well on what's going to actually happen in this lane. See the Slark getting a little bit of harass damage onto this Faceless Void. Witch Doctor is in the area ready to throw out that ever so important coconut if the Faceless Void tries to jump ahead a little bit. But he starts off with Time Walk, so he won't really have too many worries. See this Invoker going up against this Dusa here. Dusa is slightly ahead right now, but we're only a couple creeps in, not too much to worry about. Visage spotted out this Earth Spirit, maybe. We'll see if they can find him here. Looks like the Earth Spirit's trying to actually find a courier or just kind of set up an early gank onto this Invoker. And now the Visage does indeed pop him. Grave Chill goes out on him just to do a little bit of extra harassment. Nothing will actually come of that one. Dark Troll Summoner from the Enchantress out in the mid, just kind of almost feeding its life away to this Invoker here. He's probably not too sad about that. Down on the bot, we can see this Slark and this Void just battling it out. Slark did go for an early level of Essence Shift now that he's going up against a melee offlaner, and that'll come in really beneficial to him. We can see the Enchantress rotated out of the jungle, headed back to the top now here. Harpy Wind Ripper, or Wild Wind Whipper, throwing out the Cyclone just as some nice harass. Gyro pops the Flat Cannon, pushes away the Enchantress and the Earth Spirit. Visage and the Vengeful Spirit working on this creep camp here, aided by this Enchantress creep. Now the Gyrocopter will actually find this Enchantress creep. Roll forward onto the Gyrocopter. This might be the death of the Gyrocopter here. Nice heals coming out, Fairy Fires coming out. This will actually be the death of the Earth Spirit, followed up on the back of that Soul Rip from the Visage. Really close to losing that Gyrocopter there, but the Fairy Fires saved him right away in the end. And so that's first blood going towards the Visage. He'll be really happy about that. That'll be an early boots for him, and well on the way to his medallion. Invoker still keeping pretty level with this Dusa here in the mid. It's actually working out fairly well for the Dusa. I wish that Snake would have got up there and actually hit that Invoker, but that's okay. Level-wise, both a level 4. Invoker slightly ahead. He does have one extra last hit over this Dusa, but otherwise fairly close here. Bit of engagement onto this Faceless Void here. He'll time walk away and be just fine. Slark working away here. He is not leading the board, but he is tied up with the Invoker. Gyrocopter, who is pretty much free farming up here, is having the best time of his life. The Enchantress and the Void. That's interesting. So it looks like the Vengeful Spirit rotated in and helped the Faceless Void actually pick off the Witch Doctor here. He'll be pretty happy about that. That will really help him win the lane. So he only had 5 last hits, so that'll help him kind of bring back to even with this Slark here. If he is continued to be left by himself, he will continue to not get much in the way of last hits, but he is actually picking up some levels here. We can see this Enchantress and Earth Spirit still working away up here in this top lane. Vengeful Spirit's rotating in behind him, has an Invis Ruin. It looks like they'll go on to the Enchantress. Sunstrike will come out from the Invoker to finish up the Enchantress along with the Visage Soul Assumption. They'll clean up a couple of the Visage creeps, or a couple of the Enchantress creeps. Be pretty happy. Gyrocopter will pick up his Phase Boots after that. Earth Spirit still at level 2 compared to this level 3, almost level 4 on the Visage. If we can find the Vengeful Spirit anywhere here. She is level 4. Gyrocopter level 5. Slark is actually able to pick up the Faceless Void down here on the bottom. Looks like it pounced into a nice paralyzing cast. He tried his hardest to get away, but was not able to in the end. And that was about a 500 gold swing going the way of EverNova. Ring of Aquila picked up by the Slark, and he'll finish up a magic wand as well. 900 gold sitting on this Invoker. He's full exort right now, so he'll likely look to finish off a Hand of Midas first. See this Witch Doctor just trying to get a pull through here. Faceless Void will come through and say, no, please. Enchantress in the area, looking to see if she can quickly turn one of these creeps and turn the tide their way. Vengeful Spirit has rotated in. Magic Missile comes out on the Witch Doctor. Enchantress needs to make her noob right now. Pops the Spirits, and they will be just fine. Not able to actually pick off anybody here. The enchant comes out a little bit late, and the Faceless Void will just walk away. Enchantress has a Wild Wing Ripper here, just kind of working through some creeps. Gyrocopter. Flat Cannon out, and is just farming up here. Naturally, as soon as I look away, somebody does indeed die. Faceless Void pretty low. Vengeful Spirit pretty low. They need to watch out. This Ember Spirit, this Earth Spirit is looking to actually go for a kill here. Slark was in the woods hunting. Nobody wants to die for this Faceless Void, though. He'll likely get away and just cost somebody their life. Medusa up here on the tower, doing a lot of damage to this tower, actually. Invoker not able to do much. We can see as time has gone on, the Medusa is slowly pulling away from the Invoker. We can see Gyrocopter going for a dive onto this Enchantress here. Should be able to kill her. Nice Grave Chill coming out, and that'll be the death of the Enchantress. And they'll likely be able to clean up the tower on the back of that as they are cutting this creep wave right now. We can see the Dusa. She'll be able to take out a tier 1 of her own in a second if the Invoker is not able to pull off all of these creeps. Actually goes for Phase Boots. We can see the Earth Spirit TPing back in, trying to catch out this Gyrocopter, not able to. Tower down to 50 HP. He's trying to go for the deny. He's able to get the deny. I don't think they'll be able to get a kill here. So Gyrocopter actually TP'd home to heal up. Chronosphere comes out from the Faceless Void. Invoker Sunstrike followed up to clean up the Slark here. He's trying to hunt for this Witch Doctor, not able to get him out of mana. Won't be able to pursue too deep. Vengeful Spirit is also out of mana. If the Venge had the mana for another Magic Missile, he likely would have dove for that a little bit deeper. Enchantress in the area, just kind of farming up, sitting on 430 gold, brown boots. Gyrocopter actually rotates down to the bottom. We'll see who they send up top instead. Maybe they'll send this Faceless Void up top. Gyrocopter, Belt of Strength plus a Bracer. Not really sure what he's planning on picking up. Looks like the Slark was able to find the Visage up here in the woods. Was not expecting for anybody to show up. They are working on a trade. DD Enchantress will help him secure the mid tier 1, and the Gyrocopter Faceless Void will secure the bot tier 1 from their team.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Oh man, what? Get up on out of here, cause Radiant just fortified their structures.
And there is the last hit going the way of the Gyrocopter. Dusa sitting on 600 gold. Ring of Aquila, Phase Boots. See if she's got something coming out to her. Had a Bracer coming out. She might be looking at completing up some drums. Invoker, Hand of Midas is up as expected. Heading to the mid, throwing out some damage. Nobody here to actually kill. We'll see what item he actually wants to get next. He's got plenty of options. And a pause comes out from the Witch Doctor as he disconnects. You see Demon here sitting on 220 gold, Arcane Boots. Let's check the net worth graph quick here. So we can see Gyrocopter up on top, 4,500 gold. Invoker, 4,400 gold. Slark 4,200. So the top 4 are fairly close, just 500 gold spread between them. Once the Enchantress got here, still nothing. Slark trying to kill this familiar here if he can. He's sitting on 1,200 gold. We'll see exactly what item he wants to pick up next. Okay, it looks like Witch Doctor is back. We'll jump right back into this game here. Smoke up from the Vengeful Spirit. Faceless Void has a Chronosphere up. They'll see if they can pick off anybody here. They would probably like to really find this Dusa in the back line there. And they'll jump forward. Chronosphere will come out. Sunstrike will come out. And they should be able to finish up this Dusa before she can actually get an ult off. Swap come out from the Vengeful Spirit. Gyrocopter will throw down the call down to make sure they can actually secure this kill. And not a problem. Out of creeps though, so they won't be able to push this tower just yet. Gyrocopter out of mana. But looks like they will stick around. Gyrocopter looks like he's going to finish off some drums. Not quite sure what this Belt of Strength is doing yet. We'll see if he reveals some sort of elaborate plan with that. Maybe he's planning on picking up power trides at some point. Slark jumping in, trying to go on this Gyrocopter here. Pops the Shadow Dance, not able to actually clean anything up. So he will just kind of run away. Gyrocopter will get away. And he picks up a Claymore, so he'll be picking up a Shadow Blade next. Enchantress finished off her power treads. Witch Doctor, 300 gold. Doesn't even have boots yet. Maybe he's got some on the courier. No. Visage. He's got 1,000 gold plus arcane boots. I'd imagine he'll be picking up a medallion fairly quickly here, unless he wants to rush the Aghanim Scepter, which is likely the plan. Dusa, bracers and 1,000 gold. We'll see what she wants to go for first. Some Dusas like to go for the casual farming Yasha. Looks like this Vengeful Spirit will be looking to complete the Urn of Shadows. And the Visage just right-clicks a medallion. Invisibility. Faceless Void sitting on a Bassi. He'll probably complete a Vladimir's Offering, in my bet here. They can see this Slark. Do they have a Chronosphere? 4 seconds of the Chronosphere. Faceless Void will just kind of sit in the bushes until he has it up. Jumps in, pops the Chronosphere. Wave of Terror comes through, Sunstrike comes through, Meatball comes through, and that's a dead Slark. As we can see, nice and easy. They'll take that all day, every day. Gyrocopter, just kind of sitting here still. Not able to crack this tower just yet. They are working on defending it a bit. So the Dusa picks up a point booster. It looks like she'll start working towards a Scotty first. Invoker and the Vengeful Spirit here want to go in for this Roshan. Looks like the Invoker's working on a Yule Scepter.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This would be a fairly quick Roshan here with that medallion and Wave of Terror coming out. A lot of damage coming out from this Invoker, already hitting for 200 damage. And immediately followed up by a smoke. Everybody in the area. Dusa ult comes out, able to clean up the Visage immediately afterwards. Gyrocopter frozen. He's not able to do any damage yet. Death Wards comes through, doing a lot of damage to the Gyrocopter. Everybody real low on the side of Leviathan. Meatball comes through, cleans up the Dusa. Picks off the Invoker. And they might be able to run down the Slark here. Stun comes out. Gyrocopter had given up a little bit already. Don't have a swap up for another 20 seconds. Magic Missile, not another one for another second here. Might be able to get in range. Boulder will pick off. For those asking, I'm using the Rick and Morty announcer. And in the end, about 800 gold advantage going the way of EverNova.
Oh, Radiant's bottom tower.
And looks like they'll transition to the bottom tier 2 after that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Shouldn't have much trouble picking this off. Doesn't look like EverNova will be able to take a trade on the back of this.
Oh, Radiant's bottom tower
Should
is
just
under
be
attack.
pretty much a free tower after those couple kills going the way of Leviathan. And one more last hit. We'll finish that up. Slark is actually able to pick up the Visage, and the Enchantress actually goes down to the Faceless Void. Looks like they popped the Chronosphere for that. So across the board, 1 for 1, plus a tower going in the way of Leviathan.
Radiant's middle
Again, a
tower is
favorable
under
trade
attack.
for them as they lost the support, but EverNova lost their offlaner, or their jungler, I guess. Bit of an engagement over here. Invoker will go down. Call down is flying through. Slark is able to pick off both the Invoker and the Gyrocopter on the back of that. That's a lot of gold going in the way of the Slark. Oh, so what's the question here? So Chad is asking, who are you? I am the Opinion Engineer. Find me at Opinion Engineer on Twitter. Slark farming away up to 1,800 gold. Not sure what he wants to pick up next. He could go for that Scotty next. That's what we saw last time. Witch Doctor just getting away from this Invoker meatball falling through.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Oh man, what? Get up on out of here, cause Radiant just fortified their
Looks like
structures.
the Faceless Void would like to take out this mid-tier 1. EverNova has other ideas. Medusa TPing in, getting some nice damage out onto this Faceless Void. He'll time walk away and escape.
Holy crap, Ricky's unstoppable.
Somewhere the Slark picked off the Faceless Void as he was escaping. Looks like he's actually going to go for a Sanj, so I'd imagine he'll pick up an S and a Y. Nice amount of gold going towards the Slark after that kill here. EverNova will continue the push. Looks like they're going to head straight for the tier 2 here. Gyrocopter throws down the call down to kind of delay this push a little bit here.
Dire's middle tower's under attack.
Deuce doesn't really care. They still have a catapult, so they'll be able to get some nice damage on it here. Creep wave just now crossing the river.
Oh boy, Dire's middle tower's under attack.
This tower should go down.
Ooh, Dire, you gotta
When
fortify
the
their structures.
Faceless
Good work.
Void comes up, he can TP in and look to throw down a Chronosphere to catch
Oh,
anybody
Radiant's
still in
top
the area.
tower is under attack. Oh, Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So I'd imagine we have most of us, oh boy, just the Ultimate Orb flying out towards this Duzo, so she will be
Oh,
finishing
Radiant's
up
top tower
a
is under
Scotty
attack.
eventually. Bench the Spirit helping out this Gyrocopter with a stack of Ancients. Hell with a Dominator up for him, Drums up for him. Invoker finished up the Yule Scepter, 2,000 gold on top of that. We'll see what he wants to pick up. He probably used himself a positioning item, so I'd bet he'd pick up
Radiant's middle
a
tower is under attack.
not a Force Staff. He'll probably pick up the Blink Dagger next when he's sitting on 2,000 gold like that. Faceless Void sees the Dusa farming in the jungle here. Not able to get close enough to actually catch her with the Chronosphere, but they know she's in the area, and the Faceless Void will head over with the Invoker
Dire's
towards the
top tower's
mid
under
to
attack.
try and take out this mid tier 1 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is
Invoker
under attack.
does indeed pick up the
Sounds like they don't even care.
Blink Dagger, Boulder flying through. That'll just slow him down a little bit. Slark is able to pick up a top tier 1 tower in the trade. That's pretty much a worthless tower, though. This tier 1 tower in the mid is much more important for defending the Roshan. Swap comes out onto the Dusa. She pops her ult. No Chronosphere used just yet. If they can stun her up long enough, he'll be able to pop the Chrono and go for it. Time Dilation comes out on the Earth Spirit. Time Walk forwards by the Faceless Void. Not able to catch anybody in a favorable location for the Chronosphere, so he will just back up. Slark hunting in the woods, seeing if he can find any stragglers on the outside here.
Top tower's under attack.
Doesn't look like he will be able to do so. We'll head down to the bot to pick up the farm here. She needs another 1,000 gold to finish up her Scotty.
Dire's top tower's under attack.
Witch Doctor has a smoke. They'll check around the area to make sure they don't get caught smoking, and then I imagine they will group up, smoke, and look to catch somebody out here. Invoker coming through the woods, looking for somebody. The Slark's about to run smack bang into him here underneath this Shadow Blade. See if he can get around the trees and get sight on him. He does see him here. The Deuce is in the area. Earth Spirit's rolling forwards. See if they can catch him before he can actually TP out here. Dagger, kick forward. Not able to actually kill him before the TP scroll completes. And now, since they have so many down here, they will just go ahead and take out this bottom tier 1 tower here. Looks like the Gyro and the Invoker actually want to try to defend this a little bit.
Those little rascals are hitting Dire's bottom tower. Looks like Dire's
TP in from the Faceless Void. He should have a Chronosphere up. He can jump forward and try to drop it. If he can get this Slark and Dusa in a single go, that would probably be worth it. Time Dilation onto the Witch Doctor. They'll look at killing him off before the fight even gets started. Wave of Terror comes through. And that's really unfortunate for the Faceless Void. He gets down the Chronosphere. It is able to kill off the Dusa. The Dusa Gaze actually ends up killing him, though. Magnetize flying through onto Leviathan, doing a lot of damage. Sorry, they should be able to kill off this Slark if they can get a hold of him here. Magic Missile coming through. That should be enough stun to actually finish him up. And the Visage Birds are able to finish that kill off. So in the end, a 3 for 2, going heavily in the favor of Leviathan. They're able to defend that tier 1, and looks like they'll try to actually push down here.
Radiant's top tower is
Maybe
under
get some
attack.
chip damage onto this tier 3.
Oh, Radiant's top tower is destroyed.
They actually lose their top tier 2 here. The better plan would be going for the Roche. Roche isn't up. He will be up in seconds pretty much, though. Looks like the Gyrocopter did finally find a use for that Belt of Strength, turned it into an SNY. 23 seconds until the Roche pops up here. Etherline's up on the Vengeful Spirit. That's really going to help him with the initiation range. Not quite as good as the Blink Dagger, but still pretty good. Vladimir's offering completed by this Faceless Void, sitting on another 1,000 gold. We'll see what he wants to pick up after that. Entire team of EverNova over on the top lane here. No smoke out. Looks like the Dusa has eyes on this Faceless Void. Slark will run around up top, try to catch out this Vengeful Spirit. Shouldn't have too much trouble jumping through. Manages to land a pounce on the correct hero. Swap will come out from the Vengeful Spirit to save her life. Stun onto somebody there. Slark still going to town on this Visage. Witch Doctor ult comes through. That'll kill off the Faceless Void. Invoker trying to get away on the top here. If he has a couple seconds, then his blink will be up. And assuming they can cancel some damage onto him, yeah. Alright, so Invoker drops, Visage drops, Faceless Void drops. No losses for EverNova. That's going to be a great fight for them. 3,500 gold going in the way of EverNova. So we can see Leviathan was just over 7,500 ahead, but now that will start to swing a little bit back towards EverNova. Visage just kind of looking through the woods here. Looks like he's working on an Aghanim Scepter. Has that mechanism completed. Dusa, Scotty completed. Farming up for her next item. Probably complete a Mana Style next. S and Y still up on the gyrocopter. 2,600 gold. We'll see what he wants to complete next. Slark, Ogre Club up on him. Probably look at completing a BKB next. Invoker, Point Booster, Blink Dagger. He'll be completing Aghanim Scepter next. Juice has got the DD up. So Earth Spirit has a Point Booster and an Ogre Club plus 200 gold, which means he is 1,800 gold away from completing that Aghanim Scepter, which will really increase his damage and usefulness in the team fight. That Stone Form is basically a free BKB for any of the supports or someone getting going on by, say, the Invoker.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Really fast Roshan comes out with the help of that Medallion Wave of Terror, and that'll go straight onto the gyrocopter. We'll see what they can actually accomplish with that. Visage Bird scouting out the Slark over here. We'll see if they want to wrap around, try to catch him. Probably won't be able to get to him before he is in fact gone. They can see the Duso working on the stack of Ancients, so they will actually head down the mid and the bot lane at the same time here. It looks like the Invoker will kind of head this way and meet up with the gyrocopter. Maybe they want to pop a smoke here. Does anybody have a smoke? No one has a smoke. So Hastruin up on the Invoker. He'll run right down the mid, see if he can catch out this Witch Doctor. Not able to catch anybody. They'll just run straight at the tier 3 maybe. Well, they have a tier 2 in the way, so this would be their ideal target here. Slark will be up top trying to get a little bit of trade going. Have a problem where they keep running out of creeps here, so they won't be able to complete any objectives yet with this Aegis, but they still have plenty of time. Visage Bird's up top, making sure this creep wave stays pushed forwards. Enchantress and Earth Spirit doing a good job of keeping all the other creep waves dead and distracted to make sure that Leviathan can't actually accomplish anything. Faceless Void, Chronosphere onto this Slark, trying to actually catch him out, not able to convert it. Magic Missile following him, they'll know exactly where he is going. They just have to follow that Magic Missile all the way home. They'll instead go up for this Earth Spirit, not able to pick up him either. Blink Dagger comes out for the Faceless Void. I saw a Reaver over on that gyrocopter, so that will be a Satanic for him. Maybe now they'll actually head down the mid, try to take out this tier 2, see if they can get some high ground damage done. Have a full creep wave now. Alacrity up on the gyrocopter. Instead, they'll go for the fight over here. Faceless Void already dead at the start of this here. Enchantress taking some damage. Gyrocopter's having a really tough time working through here. It's amazing how that Untouchable works there. Invoker about to drop. No more damage going to come out from him. He just barely gets away. Gyrocopter will actually lose his Aegis here. Magnetize still up. The Vengeful Spirit can look for a swap out here to try to save the gyrocopter. Doesn't look like he'll quite need it yet. They're able to pick up the Earth Spirit. They might be able to pick off the Dusa here. And it looks like the Slark will actually be able to pick off the gyrocopter here with the impetus shots rolling forwards. Not much HP left in the gyrocopter here. Mystic Cape, or Glimmer Cape, saving him. Slark will be able to pick off this Vengeful Spirit. And this gyrocopter needs to try to get out of there before he actually loses his life to pretty much any random EverNova hero. Slark will TP towards the top, towards the mid, sorry. Head up. Try to catch out this gyrocopter, not able to happen. He's still on the hunt. He knows this gyrocopter doesn't have much life, knows he doesn't have a TP scroll, not able to actually find him.
Double damage.
Picks up a DD instead, and we'll see what he can actually do with that.
Oh, Radiant's top tower is
So
under
with that,
attack.
we can see EverNova bringing this back to about a 5,000 gold game. We see this gyrocopter 16k ahead. Well, he's not 16k. 16k net worth, 2,000 ahead of the Slark. Slark has a fresh BKB sitting in the base. Enchantress, Aghanim Scepter up, Dragon Lance up. She is ready to dish out the damage. And as we saw last time, when that gyrocopter decided to go on her, pretty much cost them the fight, as he spent the whole time trying to kill somebody he could not kill. It needed to leave that to the Invoker, to the Visage. 640 gold up on this gyrocopter. Not sure what he wants to grab next. He could probably use a BKB. Deuce is on the other side of the river here. No jump forward from this Faceless Void. He has the Blink Dagger. He's ready to try to go. Roshan repopping in 3 minutes 30 seconds. Maybe they'll actually try to complete this tier 2 tower push. Out of creeps once again, though. Creeps will be crossing the river in just a second here. They'll move up to the high ground to wait for the creeps to show up. Looks like EverNova knows where they are.
Oh, Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Should be able to clean up this tower before EverNova actually shows up. Slark is sitting here, ready to jump. Glyph comes out. They would really like to take a fight before this tower actually drops. Invoker in the back, setting in the Forge Spirits, trying to get some more damage onto this tower. That'll just cost him a couple Forge Spirits. Leviathan standing up here, not really ready to jump in. Alright, so there's the Tornado coming out from the Invoker. Visage Birds coming in. Stun comes out from Demon. Stun comes out from the Earth Spirit as a counter. Medusa ult comes out. Swap around. Faceless Void still has a Chronosphere. He's blinking around, avoiding the rocks. I can hear the Chronosphere. Who did he catch? He caught the Slark. Let's see if they're actually able to kill him. BKB comes up from the Slark, and we can see the Dusa just raining out the damage onto this gyrocopter and the Invoker, and that'll be the end of their life. 9 essence shifts up on this Slark. He's going to be dissing out the damage when eventually he gets to the tier 2 tower. This should cost them a tower, and they might be able to pull out a couple buybacks. Not much after that. So this gyro should be saving for a BKB next. He'll have to save for buyback gold as well. He has the buyback right now. He will use it right away. Gyrocopter, or the Invoker, does not have the money for a buyback. So we'll see if this gyrocopter is enough to actually defend this Mana-style Scotty Dusa. They'll back up, wait for the call down to fly through, jump back in. Slark jumping forward, Coconut bouncing in, Rock flying forwards. Not able to catch anybody, but that's okay. All they want is the tower. Oh man, what the hell is that? One hit away from actually finishing up this tower from this Enchantress. Invoker is alive. TP's in. We'll see him start throwing out the damage. Sunstrike coming out. No Tornado yet. He's up in the air. Blinks away. He'll throw. Finally does it. Faceless Void jumping forward. No Chronosphere up though, so he's just going to take a bunch of damage. Throw down an Ice Wall next. I hope to see a Deafening Blast come out. Then there is some actual damage onto the Dusa. They'll finish up the Dusa. They'll finish up this. That's the Enchantress. Slark is somewhere. Slark is back at home. He may have 4-0 defense for Leviathan. Just cost them 2 buybacks. So died a lot earlier, and I just missed it. So there, 4,000 gold going the way of Leviathan, minus a couple buybacks. Probably puts him about 2,000 ahead. And so we saw about 2,500 gold was their advantage, and they'll bring it back to about 4,000. They will now take their turn pushing up high ground, try to draw out a couple buybacks of their own. Draw out the Dusa buyback, able to get some chip damage. That's probably good enough for them. Everybody else is too close to repopping, so they'll just back up and get out of there. Roshan is up, so that is an option for them if they can pick somebody off.
Well-gotten gains.
Invoker, Aghanim Scepter, 1800 gold. We'll see what he actually wants to pick up next. Gyrocopter looks like he's going to pick up a butterfly. He really doesn't want to get that BKB for some reason. Faceless Void, 2,000 gold on top of a Blink Dagger Vladimir's offering. We'll see what he wants to pick up next. Visage just completed his Aghanim Scepter, so he's got triple birds out whenever he gets a resummon in 60 seconds here. Looks like EverNova is working on the Roche right now. Visage bird spotted out. EMP Tornado comes through from the Invoker to stop this. And EverNova will have to get out of there. Deafening Blast from the high ground from the Invoker. Bit of an engagement up top here. They're able to catch the Visage with a couple Scotty shots. Slark is further forwards, hunting, trying to get this Vengeful Spirit. His Shadowblade runs out just before he lands the hit, so they'll just back out. They find the Enchantress in the woods here. See if they can jump onto there. Faceless Void has his ult up still. Deuce's ult running. Whiffed Death Ward from the Witch Doctor there. And there's the Chronosphere coming out from the Faceless Void. They'll be able to pick up the Enchantress, be able to pick up the Earth Spirit, and they should be able to pick up the Deuce on the back of there. So there's another 4 kills going the way of Leviathan with the Slark back at home already. So there's another 3,600 gold going in the way of Leviathan. Roche still up. Looks like they would rather just do some base damage, not go for the safety. They know the Deuce can't buy back for another 60 seconds, so they feel pretty confident about this. They should be able to clean up a lane of racks. All they have to do is fend off this Enchantress and Slark for a couple seconds. Looks like they won't have any trouble ripping through this melee racks. Take out the range rack. They'll actually head straight top, try to at least take out the tower. Probably won't be able to take out the full set of racks. Might be able to get some chip damage onto the ranged racks. And we can see this Gyrocopter just dishing out the damage here. He gets about 3/4 damage onto this range racks. He'll run back in, taking a lot of damage from the impetus shots. Invoker long range tornado flying out. This Gyrocopter really wants to come through and finish off this range rack. Not able to if the Invoker can redirect these Forge Spirits. Might be able to finish that off. 20 damage left on that range racks. Faceless Void, he will complete a BKB now. He needs to save for buyback though, so it'll be a bit before he can actually finish that off. Gyrocopter completed the butterfly, not caring about buyback at all. Only 350 gold away for that. Creeps were able to finish off the ranged racks. Melee rack sitting at half HP. Able to pick off the courier, had 4,000 gold on it. Did not get to see did not actually see what was on there. Must have been a lot of stuff. Gyrocopter, 1,300 gold up on him. I think that Invoker had 5,000 gold. He'll probably finish the Scythe of Ice next. Slark is hunting this Gyrocopter and Invoker. He's probably a little nervous about actually taking a fight with so many people in the area, and he doesn't have that much backup. Gem comes out from this Visage. They'll look to regain a little bit of map control here. And now Leviathan will look at actually taking out this Roshan. Vengeful Spirit isn't here yet, so they're doing this a little slower than normal. But, you know, plenty of speed. Even with no Ven, she just got close enough to throw her aura. Didn't want to get in the pit itself in case EverNova actually showed up. BKB completed on the Faceless Void. Has just enough money for the buyback after that. 1,700 gold up on the Gyrocopter. Vengeful Spirit looks like she's going to go for an Aghanim Scepter. Has the Ghost Scepter up. Vengeful Spirit, Medallion, Visage, Medallion completed, Mechanism completed. He might finish the Guardian Greaves next, hard to say. Over on the other side here, Witch Doctor, 1500 gold, Aether Lens, Arcane Boots, Slark, BKB, S&Y, Shadowblade, Dusa sitting on a Mana Style, Eye of Scotty, and 4,000 gold worth of something on that courier. Slark, he may have had part of an item as well. Invoker has the cheese here. Gyrocopter has the Aegis up. Looks like they'll try to push in. Faceless Void jumps in, lands the Chronosphere onto the December Spirit. They'll be able to pick up the Dusa. They'll be able to pick up the Witch Doctor. Slark jumps out with his life. Buyback comes out of the Witch Doctor. And EverNova calls it.
Oh boy. Oh, not good.
So that was a really back and forth game. In the end, 15,000 gold in the advantage of Leviathan. We'll see what EverNova has to say about this in Game 2. I don't know what Hook Dota means in the end there. Maybe we'll see a Pudge in the next game.